What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another episode of the top 100 artists of all time. In this episode, we're counting down numbers 60 to 56, your votes. So let's get right to it. At number 60,
What's love got to do with it?
Tina Turner. Man, an absolute icon. I mean, the legs, the hair, the voice, the dancing, just the complete package all the way back from when she was with Ike Turner, which, by the way, I've mentioned recently on this channel that she's been snubbed by the Rock Hall of Fame for so many years. Finally, she's nominated, so hopefully she'll get in as a solo artist. She is already in the Rock Hall of Fame as Ike and Tina Turner. Obviously, you know, going way back to hits like Proud Mary and all that great stuff. But for me personally, it wasn't until the 80s when she went out on her own where it just really, she became iconic with that Private Dancer album, especially, which had the title track, What's Love Got to Do with It? You Better Be Good to Me. Just so awesome. And just hits after hits after that. She's 80 years old, I believe now, and still beautiful and still amazingly talented. And yeah, probably should be higher on the list. But that's number 60. Now at number 59.
Peggy, my Peggy Sue.
Buddy Holly, another icon that you always see on these kind of lists for good reason. I mean, he definitely had his own voice and his own voice on the guitar as well. A lot of artists learned from him. He had a different rhythmic style, especially on songs like Peggy Sue. That'll Be the Day. I mean, bands like the Beatles say they learned from Buddy Holly. One of my favorites is the song Every Day that's featured in the film Stand By Me. So many movies that go back to the 50s era have at least one Buddy Holly song in them. And then, you know, bands like Weezer even. When I think of Buddy Holly, I usually think of that song, actually. You know, ooh-wee, ooh, you look just like Buddy Holly. And, you know, that it has his style in there even. So absolutely see why he's got to be on the list. And now at number 58... The Band, the Canadian rock band, The Band, definitely one of the greatest of all time. Should really be higher on this list, to be honest with you. And I mean, just so many great albums, so many great songs. If I had to pick my favorite studio album, it would be their 1969 self-titled. But you've heard me say on this channel many times, my favorite is The Last Waltz. I mean, one of the greatest live albums of all time. One of the greatest concert films, if not the best of all time. Just incredible, directed by Martin Scorsese. And, you know, just everybody in the band was so immensely talented. Levon Helm, Robbie Robertson, Rick Danko, Richard Manuel, even Garth on the sax and keys. Garth Hudson, I believe the name is. Just everyone was so amazing, and they gelled so well as a band. Like, as far as 3-part harmonies goes, you know, only the Beatles come to mind as being one of the best at that. And, you know, songs like The Weight, Up on Cripple Creek, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. I mean, just so many iconic songs, incredible band, and yeah, absolutely deserve to be higher. But hey, they made the list. So now at number 57, Peter Gabriel, also another one of my favorite artists of all time, and one that I think should also be higher on this list. I mean, just for 1986's So alone, my favorite album from him, you got Sledgehammer, you got In Your Eyes, Big Time, Don't Give Up, like just so many of his best songs on one record. But then also 1992's Us is a great record, going all the way back to the 70s, all his stuff where he started out on his own. He's one of those artists that just kept getting better and better. Unfortunately, he hasn't released a new album since 2002, I think. But man, just so much great stuff. The Passion soundtrack from Last Temptation of Christ, his stuff with Genesis before Phil Collins. I mean, just one of the most amazing artist of all time, and not to mention his music videos for Sledgehammer and on, incredible. And that's at 57. So now at number 56, R.E.M. Yes, the four-piece from Athens, Georgia. One of those bands that gave Athens, Georgia a name, really. And man, just incredible. Michael Stipe and the gang. If I had to pick my favorite album by them, it would be Automatic for the People. Just a classic. I've done a review of that record on my channel, by the way. Just so many heartfelt, emotional songs like Drive and Everybody Hurts. But my favorite song by them is Losing My Religion. Not to give away if I do a future top 5 of them, but man, just so many great songs throughout their career. You know, they basically are retired now, probably for good reason, you know, with the drummer kind of stepping away from the equation later in their career. But absolutely one of the greatest alternative rock bands. They were kind of the start of alternative music in the 80s, preceding the grunge movement and everything that came after. Just so cool. And yeah, man, I'm really liking this list so far, guys. Really, the last 3 I mentioned, really, and Tina Turner, I think all deserve to be higher on the list. But hey, then you're going to have to bump down some other greats that we're going to get to next. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think of the list so far. Did some of the people you voted for make it on this episode? And how are you liking it? So guys, thank you so much for watching. Top 5s every Friday, album reviews, so much more. Thank you. And as always, Viva la Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.